Imagine a world where a single encrypted message could topple empires, where spies lurked in the shadows of the White House, and where one man's genius saved millions from the brink of annihilation. This is not fiction. This is the untold saga of William Friedman, the father of American cryptology, whose life intertwined with the greatest secrets of the 20th century, from cracking Prohibition-era rum runner codes to unraveling the enigma of Pearl Harbor, and beyond. Buckle up, dear reader, for a journey through betrayal, brilliance, and the birth of modern intelligence. A story that reveals how the United States rose from naivety to dominance in the invisible wars of codes and ciphers. In the sweltering summer of 1891, in the remote town of Kishinev, Russia, now Chisinau, Moldova, a boy named William Frederick Friedman was born into a Jewish family fleeing the pogroms that ravaged Eastern Europe. His parents, Frederick and Rosa Friedman, emigrated to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, when William was just a year old, seeking the American dream amid the steel mills and immigrant enclaves. Little did they know their son would become the architect of America's cryptographic fortress. Pittsburgh in the 1990s was a cauldron of industrial might. Andrew Carnegie's steel empire dominated the skyline, employing over 20,000 workers in Homestead alone, where the infamous 1892 strike pitted Pinkerton detectives against Unionists in a bloody clash that foreshadowed the labor wars to come. Young William grew up absorbing this grit, excelling in school with a voracious appetite for puzzles and languages. By age 12, he was devouring Edgar Allan Poe's The Gold Bug, a tale of buried treasure unlocked by substitution ciphers, igniting a passion that would define his destiny. As the new century dawned, America was transforming. Teddy Roosevelt's big stick diplomacy echoed across the globe, while the Wright brothers took flight at Kitty Hawk in 1903, revolutionizing warfare forever. William, now a teenager, pursued genetics at Cornell University, graduating in 1914 with a focus on Mendelism, the study of inheritance patterns that would later mirror his work in pattern-breaking codes. But fate intervened when he met Elizabeth Smith, a sharp-witted Shakespeare scholar from Indiana at the Riverbank Laboratories in Geneva, Illinois. Owned by eccentric millionaire George Fabian, Riverbank was a bizarre estate blending scientific research with quixotic quests, like proving Francis Bacon authored Shakespeare's works through hidden ciphers in the plays. Fabian, a textile magnate worth millions, equivalent to over $500 million today, hired William to breed fruit flies and Elizabeth to hunt Baconian codes. Their collaboration sparked romance. They married in 1917, just as America entered World War I. World War I, the war to end all wars, introduced trench warfare, poison gas, and the horrors of mechanized death. Over 116,000 Americans perished, but behind the front lines, a silent battle raged: cryptography. The U.S. Army had no dedicated code-breaking unit until Fabian offered Riverbank as a training ground. William and Elizabeth trained the first 57 cryptographers, decoding German messages that revealed supply lines and troop movements. One key breakthrough was the Weberski cipher, used by a German spy named Pablo Weberski, intercepted in Arizona. William cracked it in days, exposing sabotage plots against U.S. munitions. This feat earned him a commission as a lieutenant in the Military Intelligence Division, MID, where he served in France, analyzing enemy codes amid the mud of the Meuse-Argonne offensive, the bloodiest battle in American history, claiming 26,000 U.S. lives in 47 days. Post-war, the Friedmans returned to civilian life, but the 1920s roared with Prohibition's chaos. From 1920 to 1933, the Volstead Act banned alcohol, spawning a $3 billion bootlegging empire, over $50 billion today. Gangsters like Al Capone ruled Chicago, amassing fortunes through rum running from Canada and the Caribbean. The U.S. Coast Guard, underfunded with only 4,000 men and 55 cutters, struggled against smugglers using radio codes. Enter Elizabeth, hired by the Treasury Department in 1925. She cracked over 12,000 rum runner messages, leading to seizures worth millions. One infamous case, the "I'm alone" incident in 1929, where a Canadian schooner was sunk by the Coast Guard after decoded messages revealed its cargo of 2,000 cases of liquor destined for Louisiana. William, meanwhile, joined the Signal Intelligence Service, SIS, in 1930 under Herbert Yardley, author of The American Black Chamber. Yardley's 1929 book exposed U.S. code-breaking during the Washington Naval Conference, where decrypted Japanese cables helped limit naval arms, but it also sparked international outrage, leading Congress to shutter the Black Chamber. The Great Depression hit in 1929, plunging America into despair. 25% unemployment, bread lines stretching blocks in New York, and the Dust Bowl ravaging the Midwest, displacing 2.5 million farmers. Amid this, William rebuilt U.S. cryptology from scratch. With a team of just 3, including future legends Frank Rollitt and Solomon Kullback, he tackled Japan's diplomatic codes. By 1935, they broke the Red Machine, a rotor-based cipher similar to Germany's Enigma. This was prescient. As Hitler rose in Germany, rearming in violation of Versailles, Japan invaded Manchuria in 1931, setting the stage for World War II. William's team, SIS, grew to 10 by 1939, decoding messages that warned of Axis aggression. Yet bureaucratic silos, Army, Navy, State Department, hindered sharing. The Purple Machine, Japan's top diplomatic cipher introduced in 1939, was a beast. 25 rotors, millions of permutations. William's team, working 18-hour days in a munitions vault, cracked it in 1940 after 18 months. The breakthrough message, a decoded cable revealing Japan's alliance with Germany and Italy, the Tripartite Pact.
Pearl Harbor, December 7, 1941, a day of infamy. Over 2,400 Americans killed as Japanese Zeros bombed the Pacific Fleet. William's team had decrypted purple messages hinting at war, but the infamous 14-part message arrived piecemeal, untranslated until too late. Conspiracy theories abound. Did FDR know? Evidence suggests no deliberate withholding, but intelligence failures, echoing modern 9/11 critiques, stemmed from compartmentalization. William, heartbroken, redoubled efforts. During WW2, his Arlington Hall team swelled to 4,000, breaking codes from Vichy France to Nazi U-boats. One triumph? Decoding Japanese merchant ship codes, enabling U.S. subs to sink 55% of Japan's fleet, crippling their economy. Elizabeth, meanwhile, targeted South American Nazi spy rings, cracking codes that exposed Abwehr agents in Brazil, leading to FBI arrests. The Manhattan Project, the $2 billion, over $30 billion today atomic bomb effort, relied on secrecy William helped enforce. Codes protected communications between Los Alamos and Oak Ridge, where 75,000 workers enriched uranium without knowing the full purpose. William's influence extended to the Venona Project, decrypting Soviet cables from 1943 onward. These revealed spies like Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, executed in 1953 for atomic espionage, and Alger Hiss, whose perjury trial fueled McCarthyism. Post-war, the Cold War dawned. The 1947 National Security Act birthed the CIA and NSA, with William as chief cryptologist until retiring in 1955 due to health issues, heart attacks from relentless stress. He and Elizabeth co-authored The Shakespearean Ciphers Examined in 1957, debunking Bacon theories with rigorous analysis. William died in 1969, Elizabeth in 1980. Their legacies classified until the 1990s. But the story doesn't end there. William's techniques birthed modern NSA tools, from SIGINT during Vietnam, where decrypted NVA messages saved lives in Tet Offensive, to today's cyber warfare against China and Russia. In 1976, the DES drew from his rotor ideas, securing banks until cracked in 1998. His life reminds us that in an era of AI and quantum computing, Where codes guard everything from elections to nukes, the human mind remains the ultimate cipher. This narrative, woven from declassified files, biographies like Jason Fagone's The Woman Who Smashed Codes, and NSA archives, spans a century of American resilience. From immigrant roots to global superpower, Friedman's saga is a testament to ingenuity amid adversity, a story that astonishes with its depth, informs with historical precision, and captivates with human drama. If only walls could talk, the vaults of Arlington Hall would echo with the clicks of rotors spinning secrets into salvation.